Okay, so if you've been feeling some serious sticker shock with your morning coffee lately, I promise you, you are not alone. Today, we're going to break down the massive global story behind why that daily cup is costing us all a whole lot more.
Right? It's the big question we're all asking ourselves as we tap our cards at the counter. And the answer, well, it isn't simple. It's this tangled, global story with a ton of moving parts. But it all starts with one pretty staggering number.
So to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, prices for the raw, unroasted Arabica coffee beans, the good stuff, the kind used in most specialty coffees for that smoother flavor, they've jumped as much as 45% on the global market. That's a huge shift, and it creates ripples that go all the way down to your neighborhood coffee shop.
So yeah, let's start with what we all see and feel firsthand, that climbing price tag. But here's the thing, while our wallets are feeling the pinch right here at home, the story doesn't actually start here at all.
It's really easy to blame the local cafe for jacking up prices, but the real story begins on farms literally thousands of miles away. The price you pay is just the final chapter of a really long and super complicated journey.
So, let's go there. Let's travel right to the source. The journey begins in the world's coffee-growing regions, where, honestly, a perfect storm of problems has been brewing for a while now.
When you look at who grows the world's coffee, you can see just how concentrated the supply is. Look at Brazil. It produces about 40% of the entire world's Arabica beans. And what that means is that the whole global market is incredibly vulnerable to whatever happens in just that one country.
So you can imagine when Brazil has a bad harvest because of crazy weather or some other issue, it doesn't just hurt Brazil. Nope, it sends these massive shockwaves through the entire global supply chain, and that pushes prices up for absolutely everyone, everywhere.
So what exactly are these problems? Well, farmers are battling some major headwinds. We're talking about devastating frosts and super long droughts in key areas. We're seeing new crop diseases pop up. And on top of all that, the cost of basics like fertilizer and labor is just going up and up. Every single one of these things chips away at the world's coffee supply.
Here's a great way to think about it. Picture the global coffee supply as this giant reservoir. Right now, with all those challenges hitting the farms, the water level in that reservoir is dropping. And, basic economics, when supply gets low, prices have to go up.
But believe it or not, trouble on the farm is only part one of this story. Let's move on to the next stage because this is where things get even more complicated. The long journey that bean takes to actually get into your cup.
Think about it. From the second it's picked, a single coffee bean passes through so many hands. It has to be processed, then exported. Then it's shipped across oceans in these huge containers. Then it's custom roasted and packaged, and then it's finally delivered to your local cafe, all before it ever gets brewed for you.
And this is a really crucial point. This isn't just a farming problem. We're seeing major bottlenecks and rising costs at multiple points along this whole chain, which just keeps compounding the problem and adding more and more to that final price. And here's what's pretty wild. The price the farmer actually gets for those raw green beans, it's just a tiny fraction of the final cost you pay. The vast majority of what you're paying for covers everything that happens after the farm. All that shipping, the roasting, the labor, the rent for the cafe itself.
And right now, those after-the-farm costs are what's really surging. Global shipping container costs have absolutely skyrocketed. Fuel prices are hitting both the giant ships and the local delivery trucks. And of course, rising labor costs affect everyone, from the person roasting the beans to the barista who serves you.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. What does all of this mean for the future of our daily coffee? That price you see on the menu board, it's not arbitrary. It's the end result of all these different global pressures. Everything from a drought in South America to a shipping container shortage in Asia, it's a reflection of a brand new and much more expensive reality for the whole coffee industry.
So the next time you're sipping your latte, just remember what's actually in that cup. It's a mix of weather patterns thousands of miles away, crazy global shipping logistics, what's happening with energy prices, and the simple day-to-day costs of running your favorite local spot.
And all of this leaves us with one really big question. With climate change making harvests less predictable and supply chains getting more and more volatile, are the days of the reliably cheap cup of coffee just over for good? It's definitely something to think about on your next coffee run.